of Teach Big. I'm Randy Whitney, your host and author of the materials that we'll be working with. So let's get started. Learn Big is a resource for teachers and students alike to take virtual courses. You can do them at your own pace, stop and start as much as you'd like. And the nice thing is for teachers, we are even CPE accredited through TEA, so you can earn those all important CPE hours. So let's get started. So first of all, I want you to know that you'll be going to a different website than TeachBig, although you can get to it from TeachBig. This is called learnbig.org. That is step one. So to experience our student classes and our teacher classes, visit learnbig.org. Let's look at the student classes first. First of all, you'll go to Learn Big. You will then, step number 2, click on My Account and sign in. If your school already has a ClassLink account, students can use their single sign-on credentials, which makes it really nice. Otherwise, don't worry, you can set that up here. After that, step 3, you will look and see, hooray, you are enrolled in that particular class. Step 4, you will click on the lesson and then hit play. Upon hitting play, that's that red arrow there in the middle, you will embark upon a great learning adventure. You will then, when that learning adventure is complete, take a 5-question quiz. That 5-question quiz tells us a lot of information. The first 4 questions have to do with not only content, but also the 4 dimensions of comprehension. This means the what, simple kinds of questions. And what I mean by that is the knowledge and recall type of questions. Things like, what is the setting, or what is an introduction? A second dimension question, which will always be question number 2, is tied to the second dimension of tapping. Tapping is when we're looking for evidence. So we need to find evidence that supports our answer to part A, or question number 1. Question number 3 always has to do with a think question. In other words, it's an inferencing question, a why question. May not always use those words, but at the core of the question, that's what it means. A 4th dimension question, which is our toggle questions, that means we have 2 things we have to toggle or measure a relationship between. For example, something like, explain the relationship between the setting and the theme. That's just an example, but it's taking 2 big deals and somehow explaining their relationship. Sometimes that's a cause and effect relationship. Sometimes it's a compare and contrast. Sometimes it is how they are related or how they build upon each other. Sometimes it's similarities or differences. Then, when you get to the 5th question, that is an overview question. So once this quiz has been graded, we learn 2 big things. We learn, do our students know the knowledge at hand, such as the setting or what goes into an introduction? But we also learn knowledge and recall question 1, but then we learn, can they remember or find evidence throughout this video to support their answer? Number 3, those inferencing think and why questions. Do they understand the processes of why something needs to occur? Number 4, can they take the content delivered and compare and contrast it or give a relationship between it and an outcome? So these questions tell us very important things in the end. So let's get to those reports. Step 6, you will receive your quiz results. Step 7, you'll receive a certificate. Step 8, this is where you receive reports. So if you are a teacher or administration, you will enjoy receiving all of these different reports. It tells you if students have started, if they've not started, if they've completed, if they're in progress. But then you can also, number 9, click on the clipboard icon because that tells you individual things about each of the students if you would like to know them. You can also run reports where you can see all of your students together and these same things. For example, if all of your students get question number 1 correct, then they know their content. But if all of them miss question number 3, then that tells us they are struggling with the inferencing skill. So it tells us knowledge and it tells us skills. So this quiz gives us a lot of data and great feedback to not only put our students into small groups accordingly to the content area and to the skill, but also it gives us great feedback in how do we go from here? Should it be a small group like we talked about, or should it be something more? Does it need to be reteaching? Does it need to be a tutorial group? What do I need to do to intervene to make sure my students succeed? Thirdly, it can help guide a very data driven PLC. And we definitely want to make sure that we are having those discussions. So, thank you so much for tuning in to learn more about Learn Big resources. Remember, we have teacher courses, student courses, offer parent support, data collection, like you saw, intervention activities, and at home access for my homeschooling families. Thank you for joining the Teach Big way of life.